So now I want to talk a little bit about file structure and saving files. Um, so after you've got, something that you're happy with and you want to save it, um, it's a good idea to save a few versions. Okay, so let's say this is my file. I love it. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to save it. Okay, so I've got a few layers in here. I want to make sure that I retain that layer information. So I'm going to save this as a Photoshop file. So I'm going to save as dialog box. I will call this collage 1. And I'm going to make sure that I keep it as a Photoshop file and that I save layers with that file. Okay? I might even put layered on here. And this is the way we save all of our work so that we can go back and make modifications to the files. Now, for producing something like a JPEG image that we're going to place online or post on a blog or send to someone, when we're doing that, we want to do a JPEG image. So I'll go ahead and say File, Save As again. But this time I'm going to scroll down here and select JPEG. Now notice it's giving me this little error or caution symbol. Files must be saved as a copy. All it's telling me is that I can't save over the original one. It's going to be saving a copy, and it's going to actually do what's called flattening. So all the layers will be smushed together as one individual layer. So I'll go ahead and save this, and I'll open it up so that you can see the difference. And we'll call this one flat JPEG. Okay, save. Now notice in the JPEG it's giving me options for compression, and that's talking about how small the file gets, but it's also it's a visual compression. So watch what happens if I slide this down. It actually gives us a preview of what it's going to do. Okay, so I slid it down to 2, so it's going to be a very, very small size image. It's going to be 46.9K. But look at all of the artifact that we're getting. So you see the little sort of squares popping up everywhere. You see the pixelization. You get some strange artifact around the object. And that's from the compression. Notice the higher this number gets, the less artifact I get. So depending on what it's going to be used for, I usually go somewhere around high, like 8, 9, 10 for my images, because I'm not normally worried too much about loading time or size, especially with high-speed internet the way it is today. So I'll get this in a reasonable location and then hit OK. Now notice when I go to open, now I see collage 1 flat, collage 1 layered. I have open collage 1 layered right now. I'm going to go ahead and open collage 1 flat as well. So you can see in the layers palette it's completely flattened. It's labeled background because there is no layer. It's only one background image. Where in the layered version, I've got a background layer that's white. Everything else is still stacked on top of it, and I can still work in this image and play with it. You want to make sure that you always have both if you want to go back into your image, because if you've only saved the JPEG, you'll essentially lose all of your editing capabilities. You'll not be able to change your layers anymore or make any future modifications. So, good idea to save 2 different versions.